Vag. What you gonna do when it's hot outside? Ooh, I know what. Listen to Vag. What you gonna do when the trains are down? Ooh, I know what. Listen to Vag.
Hi guys, we're doing 45 minutes of non-stop talking.
Non-top talking. Of top-notch talking. Okay, so let's start out strong. This is what, our 5th hour of podcasting this week?
Yeah.
We're doing...
It's a marathon.
It's a comedy podcast marathon because I'm going to be away and then you're going to be away.
And I'm going away.
And then we're probably all going to die from coronavirus. So at
we
least
were just talking about that.
Not to scare you guys, all 50 of you that listen.
But get ready for Netflix binging and...
dying.
Stock up on canned goods. There's not many canned goods that I like. Maybe chickpeas.
A lot of chickpeas.
I like
tuna
fruit.
Do you like
I don't
tuna
mind
fish?
peaches. Tuna fish is great.
Tuna fish is good. Probably rice.
Yeah. Rice is good.
I spent like $250 just getting cases of water and soda and seltzer delivered to my house because I live up 3 flights of stairs. And I was like, I'd rather pay a little bit more for somebody to bring up like 30 cases
so you don't
of
have
stuff.
to worry. Yeah, it's worth it.
So and now I know that the coronavirus is happening. So
You're
I
ready.
feel like I'm ready. I don't really have anything to eat, but
well, I don't drink much water. So
well, this might be
Diet Coke.
This might get you started to drinking water.
Well, I tried to do I'm doing the water with lemon in the morning because they say that's really good for you.
Good for you how? Like it makes you like it
detoxifies, so then it gets rid of dark circles and it makes you look more awake.
It makes you look like more people want to fuck you.
Yes, everything I'm doing is for vanity reasons.
Absolutely. If I could eat everything I wanted to eat and just be thin, I'd probably be so happy.
Whatever, anything that, if you're like, why is she doing that? Just know it's behind vanity.
Somebody just had a scarf covering their face, and I wonder if they think it's cold or coronavirus.
That's a fun game. I don't think any of that works. The face mask.
I'm going to have to go back to my doctor Monday and get the flu shot.
Just go get it. They're really cheap. You get a slight little tinge of what feels like a cold, and then it goes away. So it's not the full-blown...
Yeah, I think I'm going to get it. I wasn't going to, and now I think I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
Because he was like, just come in and get it, and now I'm scared that we're all going to die. I'm scared that we're all going to die before I get really thin.
You got to hold your cords.
Sorry.
We got cheap stuff.
Can we just get another one?
I guess we could.
How's that?
It's the way that we store everything. We have no respect for...
It's not that. We're both just...
Single moms.
We're doing this out of the car. I don't know what's going on.
No.
So wait, what's a good survival step for you? Like, what are you going to stock up on? Now, I think, too, a lot of people aren't going to think of this, but batteries for vibrators.
Oh, my God.
I do have one that plugs in now, but...
I think I might need it. It's annoying. I have one that plugs in, and it's way better.
I have one that plugs in, too. You changed my mind.
Did I?
Yes, because you said it plugged in, and I was like, oh, it seems kind of annoying. Is this guy going to piss right by my car? Okay, no. Yeah, so it is, sometimes it sucks if it just dies in the middle of, and you're like, fuck, I gotta wait for this now for like 5 minutes to charge. Who knows if I'll still be into it.
Yeah, or when it goes like, it's not dead yet, but like it has a day full of just light, almost like the way that your phone vibrates, where you're like, that doesn't do anything.
Where it's like, zzz, zzz.
There was an app I got that vibrates your phone for your clit, and I got it, and it didn't really do anything. But I love the idea that my phone just smells like pussy.
That's so funny that you could just put your... one time I used like... It
also gets hot.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I guess my batteries ran out, and at the time I had like some kind of Nintendo system or something, and there was like some game where it vibrated, and I tried using that.
Oh yeah,
and that did not work. It just like, didn't vibrate for long enough.
That's you know how every guy talks about how once they started getting boners, they would fuck everything in their house. Like Louis had that bit.
Yeah.
Where like I know a lot of like every girl that I know, if you found something that vibrated, you definitely rubbed up against it.
I think that was the only thing was that cushion, and maybe I've tried my phone, but like this doesn't vibrate for long enough anyway.
Did you ever climb rope in gym class?
No, I was too fat, I think.
I remember that feeling pretty good against
Oh,
my
you know what
vagina.
felt really good? On a school trip when you peed on the bus.
Really? I've never done that.
I guess I was sitting on the toilet like a gross person, and then you're peeing and you're like going back and forth.
Did you have a toilet on your bus, or you just straight up pissed on the bus?
No, there was a toilet.
I was like, we didn't have toilets in our buses at school.
Well, it wasn't like a school bus. This was like when you're going on a
city
class
bus.
trip.
Oh, class trip. Okay.
Yeah, a class trip, and there's like the bathroom. For some reason, like I always got like, ooh. I remember the first time also, I tried using tampons, but like I didn't even have my period. I was just trying to use it.
Playing with your clit.
Yes, and I was like, I don't know, but this feels really good. So I was definitely like rubbing my clit with it.
Oh yeah. I just think of I remember sometimes if you go down like a hill or a roller coaster feeling, that kind of has a light orgasm feel.
Also horseback riding.
Yeah.
I never did a lot of that, but I've heard a lot of
those will get you going, and then like these are our survival tips.
Well, I don't know. Guys, these are survival tips. If you run out of batteries, go horseback riding.
What you can masturbate to.
I mean, just think how dead the city will be if everyone's quarantined.
It'll be crazy.
I think so many people will be dead because people will be murdering each other in their tiny apartments.
Oh, yeah. Well, it makes me now wish I worked at a day job so I would, that feeling of like not
having to go in.
Yeah.
I get that.
It always felt good to be like, I'm not going in.
Like when there's a snowstorm.
Oh, yeah. Or some days you're just feeling, you're not even sick, but you're just not feeling up to it. And then you build up the courage. As soon as you could email your boss that you couldn't come in rather than calling, made it so much easier.
Texting was really good. What was great about email, though, is you can send it and then you don't feel like you're going to get a response all day. So you're not all day getting like panicky.
Yeah. You just.
And I would always call like when no one would be there to pick up. I would call like 6 a.m.
That's the best time.
I'd be like, well, I'm going to call now. And I would even say this, like, I'm calling now because in case I go to sleep, I don't know if I'll miss it. Like, it just so, and they don't even care. They're like, just tell us you're not coming in.
Yeah, they just want at least the think of just letting them know that. But I have done the one where I didn't show up to work.
Mm-hmm.
My dad found out he had prostate cancer and it bummed me out. But I use that as an excuse to get ripped roaring drunk the night before.
Ooh.
I didn't show up to work. I just slept through and I was like, well, now I'm 2 hours late for my waiting tables job. There's no way I can just be like, oh, I was sick and now I'm better. So I felt like when that happens, you just have to do a no-show, no call as if you've been kidnapped.
So then what happens when you're not kidnapped?
Well, I showed up the next day early in the morning when I was sober, and I just played it up of like, I am so sorry. Like he was fine with it.
What did you say?
I had never done anything like that where I've just blatantly just like overslept by hours, mainly from drinking. And the shift was at 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, but to wake up at 12:30 is not crazy.
No, it's not crazy, but for regular people,
yeah, they're like how.
Even when you drink, you should be able to make that.
I don't know. 10:30 is pretty early.
It is.
So what did you say? Did you tell them your dad was sick?
Yeah, I used that. That should have been
good.
one of my amends, but I didn't feel like it was that big of a deal that I didn't feel like going back.
I remember I made amends because I was going through the steps again, and I made some amends maybe 2 years ago. 2.5 years ago. I remember I had to call up some places that I stole from, and like none of the people even work there anymore. And I'm just like, hey, when I worked at this other office, I stole some of the stuff. And the lady was like, oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. It must be so weird because a lot of people don't even know what 12 steps are. So when they get a call, they're like, okay. I'm sure you're fine.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like I stole anything good.
Yeah.
It was just like samples. I think one time we stole about $100, but like it's so weird. Like once my friend got this system of how you could steal, I was like, why haven't I been doing this the whole time?
When you figure out how to steal,
well,
it's a game changer in a
so when
young
I worked at
teenage
this
girl's
one
life.
office, when I worked at this one office, they were pretty lax about taking copays. Like if you knew the person, you could just write 0 copay, and just write that in the book, and nobody questioned why you weren't taking a $20 copay. So you could just take the money, put 0, and like that's how people took so much money.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think later on they kind of probably figured that and were realizing it. But yeah, for a while people were doing that. And I was like, that's pretty smart.
Oh, I was just stealing from stores like Foley's and...
Oh, I did that too. One
Macy's.
time, me and my friend, I don't remember what I've talked about or not talked about, so hopefully I haven't talked about this before. But I was supposed to go to Cancun.
I don't think we talked about this.
I was supposed to go to Cancun spring break. And my mother told me like a month before she wasn't giving me money for it. So I had to get somebody to take my place because I guess I had maybe given a deposit.
Yeah.
So I got this girl to go with me, and I guess I'd go instead of me, and I didn't have a lot of money at the time, or she didn't have a lot of money at the time. I think her dad gave her $200 to buy a whole summer wardrobe.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess you could do it if you shop at Fordham Road or a place like that.
Yeah. Or the cheapo bathing suits and denim shorts.
We went to Lord & Taylor, and I think we took 4 bathing suits.
Yeah.
And she wore the bottoms. I think I put one of the tops on, and then I had one top in each of my bear jacket. I don't know if anyone remembers bear jackets. That's how long ago this was. But they're like big. They're like kind of like the 90s North Face.
Okay.
Just like a big
Huge.
jacket. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just had one here and one in here, and then I was wearing 1 or 2. And it had to be $400 worth of bathing suits. And the dressing room that was so close to the door, we just ran out. But like, imagine how crazy is it that I would be caught stealing for somebody else? What a fucking idiot. that's the craziest idea. I felt like I had to help her steal stuff because she took my place. I felt some sort of like I had to do this for her.
I get that feeling. I don't know why. It's only until when you get busted, then there's like some dumbass mall cop that's making fun of you for doing something like that.
Yeah, I guess. We were also pretty young. Another time, though, I was in Lord & Taylor. I actually shop there a lot now, and I buy all this stuff. But, like...
Yeah, you made amends.
Yeah, but then I got sunglasses from there, and I just, like, ripped the tag off, and I just wore them out. Like, they are pretty trusting. I think it's probably harder to steal now, though. This is a lot of years ago, 20 years ago.
I haven't stolen anything since... high school.
Except my heart.
Except your heart. I was going to say that.
No. Yeah, high school.
Yeah, since maybe freshman year. What happened is I got busted stealing 8th grade, so I stopped for a while.
It's so funny. It sounded like you were like, I got a DUI, so then I stopped drinking for a while, but then I went back.
And then we went on a soccer tournament, and we were in another mall in another town, so you're like clean slate.
Hilarious.
And it was I think it was at Body Works where their makeup
Bath and Body Works.
It was pre-Sephora, but I remember it being a makeup place. And I thought it was being cool, but looking back, you're just like, I'm just probably hovering behind a thing, and teenage girls are the most obvious. They're probably the only ones that are really stealing at that time. And this guy, I almost made it out the door, and he stepped behind me, and he's like, kind of like, I know what you're doing, and I want you to put that back. And he followed me, and he talked to me in my ear. And now when I'm also thinking about it, I'm like, why did that guy care so much?
Ooh, do we ever talk about
He wasn't even that old.
I know, but I guess like, anyone who's older than you just feel like they're ancient.
Yeah. But there was a shame that went over it, and then my friends made me feel like shit about it. Like, you just really ruined our vibe about it.
Have we ever talked about all the ways we've stolen?
No.
I have a lot of ways that I've stolen and gotten like, okay, so when I was a kid and we used to all go out to lunch.
Yeah.
My friend had this idea. She wasn't very smart, but she had this great idea on how to steal. And it was, and when she's told me, and I was like, wow, you're not doing well in school.
Yeah.
But you definitely could make it out in the street.
Street smart.
Yeah. So we would go to like the candy store after we went to get lunch. And, you know, we would just steal like candy and stuff. And she had an umbrella. You just open the umbrella and stick the candy in it.
That's amazing.
I mean, it really changed the game for a bit. That place did go out of business, probably because we stole so much from them. They were really nice too. Looking back, that was shitty.
Oh, we The equivalent of that for us was this place called Craft Extidra.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a Hobby Lobby or a Michael's in Kingwood, but all of the cashier were high school girls.
Oh, geez.
So once you had a friend there, you were in. So we would just go in, get all the stuff we wanted, and they would ring us up, and it would be like $5 for like $500, or not $500, but like hundreds of dollars worth of stuff.
That was another job I had.
They went out of business.
Yeah, I was a cashier, and my friend Al at the time, she was working there also, and I forget how. Oh, so she stopped working there, and her mom, who I was close with at the time, I used to spend a lot of time there. She came in, and I was ringing her up, but I was doing that thing where I'd ring up like every second thing or every third thing.
Yeah.
And I guess the first time I got watched because one of the girls that was working there was jealous I was hooking up with some guy. I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I got watched. Like, I figured the first time I did it, I didn't get caught. And then the second time I did it, I did get caught. And I mean, it was crazy. It was like $50 for like $200 worth of
Yeah.
stuff. Also, though, the mother just let me do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's also crazy.
Like everyone's just doing trashy
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
So when, I guess, did I get fired from that place? I don't even know if I did, but what happened was they took me, these two men took me down to the basement. And like they were both like surrounding me very closely, and they were like rubbing my arm, and they were like, "Just tell us what happened." And I was like, "I didn't do anything," or I don't remember what happened.
Never
but
admit.
They really put me in a very uncomfortable position.
Yeah.
Where I was just like, I don't know if I admitted it or what, but I just like left.
Yeah.
And then that place also went out of business. But I think a lot of places just go out of business. It's just hard.
Oh, where was I yesterday? Oh, just in the village or by the cellar. I know. I was like, that place went out of business? That was barely there. Nothing lasts in the city.
Yeah, there are places in Greenwich Village that I've seen they're on like their fourth place there in the last 16 years.
Yeah, when a restaurant, you're like,
pizzeria,
good luck.
Yeah, even the place on the corner from the cellar, it was like
That pizza
a
place?
restaurant, then it was a coffee. No, not Ben's. The other way. It was like a coffee shop.
bean?
Yeah, it was a restaurant. Now it's something else. That's just, I think it's high rent, and you're just really gambling.
Yeah, the only place that's managing to stay afloat is Insomnia Cookies, which I don't get because it's the same thing. It's high schoolers working this place that let their friends just smoke pot and then hang out in the establishment.
But there's also like, even if they give away, first of all, how much does it cost to even make cookies?
Nothing.
Yeah. So even if like they're giving away 15%, there are dummies that are paying for it. Like when you're drunk on that block going to Insomnia Cookies, you'll pay $40. You don't even care. You just want those hot cookies.
And they're not even, I have to say, they're not even that amazing.
They're just hot.
Yeah.
That's it.
If
you had the time.
And they can be delivered to you late, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But like if you were home and had all the ingredients and the time to make them, it would not be any better or worse. They would be exactly the same.
Yeah, just cheaper.
Yes, but you'd have to wait for it. You'd have to have all the stuff.
Don't understand how that business model is still thriving in this city right now. But it must be like 10 cents per each cookie, and then you can charge $5 for one cookie.
Yeah, but I think if you get the big ones, they're even more.
That's crazy.
Also, like when I was eating sugar and would go there, one of their little things of, it was so weird because I would spend a ton of money there on cookies, get sick, and then throwing them out. But also their milk was like a small milk thing, like a little container. It was like $3, and I was
makes
like,
sense. Milk's expensive, and like,
but no, it wasn't like a half gallon or anything. It was
Yeah.
just like a 20 ounce, like the same way you'd get like a
Coke.
Coke.
Like at school.
A little bit bigger, but it was like a diet Coke that you would take the top off. I don't know how big that is.
Okay. What? Yeah. Like,
and I'd be like,
probably,
oh, but I'm not going to pay
over.
for that. I'll just go buy a gallon of milk across the street.
Yeah. No, milk.
made no
Like milk
sense.
here is expensive.
Everything's expensive.
Well, I saw somebody have this tweet, and I had a similar one about how New York has really if you went on Price is Right, you would lose because we don't know really what the appropriate amount is to pay for anything.
That's true.
Or I also think if you were raised in the airport, your feeling of money would be like one time I bought a bag of pistachio nuts without the shells on and a Diet Coke there, $20.
Yeah. One time I bought, it was something, what did I buy there? I think I bought like
Insane.
apple chips, which are just dried apples, and it was like $12. And
insane.
but you're like, I'm stuck here.
Yeah.
You have.
You
this
won't
is a
let bring
this
me
is-
my lunch.
This is a
Yeah.
monopoly. You have.
It's Epcot Center.
It is Epcot Center.
It's just when you get charged at the airport, I'm just laughing. You're just like, that's fucking crazy. Joe told me that he stole something from the airport, and we were like, good.
What do you steal?
I forgot. I think maybe a book or something.
Sometimes.
or a package of something. It was just taking forever to get it like paid, or he had to do the self checkout, and it was bullshit. That I was like, no, they overprice everything here. Go for it.
I used to have like an old joke about how they make you wait so long that you're like, I'm stealing this. I'm stealing this because you're not helping me and I don't want to wait. I was going to pay.
It's almost like when people take forever to drop the check at a restaurant. I feel like if I'm waiting like 15 minutes,
What about when
then we get to walk out.
What
I
about-
haven't done it, but I do
What
feel
about
that
when
way.
we were on the cruise and we went to that steakhouse?
My
They
favorite
made
is
us-
they got seafood from the buffet downstairs.
That's crazy. Yeah. It
Yeah.
was such a long wait. And then I felt like they brought us out food and they brought it in shifts. So, like, I guess I had salad and spinach or something with the steak. And then I ate the steak right away. Then they brought the next thing. I ate that right. It was just the weirdest way to eat.
Yeah, it wasn't the best service for sure.
No. Did
It almost made me feel like, is every restaurant here just going downstairs to the buffet?
I mean, it's a smart way. That is funny that Ryan ordered, I guess, scallops or something,
I think
right?
he was pissed.
I'd be pissed too because I'd be like, this is just from downstairs. That's maybe what took so long.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting stuff to be like amazing on the cruise ship. I was pretty happy with the buffet, but it was just nice to
After-
kind of have a nice meal.
Yeah.
But we could have had that at the buffet. I would have given you a wine service if that's all it made you people.
Yeah. I mean, the filet was pretty good. The steak. That was pretty
Yeah.
good. But yeah, it was not. I don't know that it was worth the wait. And then
No.
it just seemed kind of like average to me.
Well, I just get annoyed when I have to wait forever for the check drop. Because at that moment, you're ready to go.
I remember one time, this is my drinking days, when we'd go to like a diner after and we would just be waiting there. One time I just saw our food and I went to the back and got it ourselves. It was just sitting on
Yeah.
the thing and it needs to be picked up and there was like nobody in there. And I just went and got. That's the great thing about being drunk. You really have no like inhibitions about anything.
You're invisible. Like I had that with. I worked at a bakery and a grocery store called Randall's for about 2 weeks. But they would make you. I'd be a high school student and they would make me work till midnight on a weekday. That
Isn't
I was
that
like,
crazy? Were you able to even stay out that late?
no, my dad was like, you have to quit. You're not even able to do any of your homework. Like it was insane. I liked the money and it was really thrilling to get a paycheck. But
Was it what kind of place was it? A diner?
no, it was like a big grocery store that had its own built-in bakery place.
Okay.
So it would be open 24/7. So after high school, my friend and I would get drunk, and then we would walk into the grocery store where it only is narrowed down to one lane checkout, and there's no one in the store maybe taking care of anything. I would just walk into behind the bakery and start getting all the baked goods
So
and putting
good.
them in the oven to heat up, and then we would walk out.
Like
Nobody did shit.
Just going to the deli and slicing your own meat. Like, well, if no one's here and I want this sliced turkey, I'm gonna just do it myself.
But it was because, like, I knew how the place worked and because I was drunk that you could just do that. That's where you miss drinking. It was that little bit of courage that you got that was so fun.
You could just act like you're drunk.
That's
It's
true.
not the same though.
It's not. You have the ability to just kind of barrel through whatever emotions you were feeling before. Like, you don't have embarrassment. You're not thinking of like outcomes. This is going to affect anybody's life. You're only thinking about yourself, and it's amazing.
Yeah, you're like, and then you could also just be like, oh, I'm drunk. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah. And then people are like, oh, I get it. Like, sometimes when people, I find if you've done an atrocious behavior, like if you get canceled, just say you were on a lot of blow and say you're going to rehab and you go for 2 weeks and you lay low. You get right back out there.
I feel like you could probably.
People would be like, oh, I
like
love
your
that he's
story.
working on him. Yeah. And we've all been there.
You go, girl.
Yeah.
Or you go, boy. I feel like that's how people feel about Artie Lang.
Yeah.
Like, even though he's like a huge heroin addict, everyone just still loves him. He is such a nice guy. And the couple times that I've worked with him, like on his podcast, he's the funniest person off the cuff.
Oh, he used to be one of my favorite guests on Conan late at night.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
Because he would say stuff and Conan would be like laughing hysterically because he knew it was so wrong to hear, but it would just be so funny.
He had a really funny joke about, I guess, his dad dying. And I guess during Obama, like, he was like, if his dad was in a coma and woke up or something and Obama was president, he'd be like, we have to talk or something.
Yeah.
I don't. That's not the greatest description of the joke, but it was funny.
Yeah, no, he's great. And his fans are, like, so loyal to him through his, like, ups and downs. Like, they really
love him. And he's just, like, a lovable person. You know, like, he does... I don't know. These people just love him because I've done shows with him and they're like, Artie, they just love him.
Oh, I know. It's just always when I see him put a social media post with his collapsed nose, I'm always like, oh my God. It's so hard to watch.
I don't know what he can do at this point.
With his nose?
Maybe he could get those glasses that the big nose is attached to and wear that.
Or like, I'm sure he could get a little stint in there that just props it up, like a little tent.
I wonder if he has the cartilage in his nose, though. Because
it's probably gone. That's probably what's happening.
So how do they do that? You just get like a little kickstand from a bike?
I'm sure you can recreate a cartilage for your nose these days. They're so good at stuff like that.
I guess. But I mean, also, I wonder if he's also still gambling.
Yeah, that did dawn on me where I'm like, why isn't he getting it fixed? I'm sure he has, or he made... You know, he's on the show Crashing. That probably paid quite a bit.
I'm sure.
Still is doing the road. That's an income. So it's kind of enough to get, like, a nose thing.
Why don't you bring it up to him next time you see him?
Do you think...
I know. Do you think... But maybe he'll respect it more because you don't know him.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that... It is really hard when you're close to some... It's so hard to talk to people when you're like, oh, I'm deeply concerned.
Yeah, I had a friend in was it high school or maybe college?
I don't know. Wait.
Sorry. What am I supposed to do with it?
Just, I don't know. There.
Is that good?
Okay. To make you hold it weird.
I had a friend that was trying natural deodorant in college, and I just want to be like, yeah, it's stinking. You're not working.
I'm trying it, and I don't think it's working. Joe and I always say that these days I'm like a nice little onion bouillon cube to put in soup.
I just snorted. That's so funny.
It's like onion slices. I just am waiting for me to finish it, but it's taking forever to get through this natural deodorant. It's called...
What's it called?
It's being advertised everywhere these days, and they send it to Joe's podcast, so I try everything that people send me.
What's it called?
It's got the smell is cucumber mint, but it turns into onions.
It turns into onion dip. We're like, so oniony around here.
Yeah, oh my God.
I wonder, okay, has anyone tried those deodorants and then said this works really well? Because my mom got me one that was like called Campari or something. It smells really good. It's like coconutty and it smells great, but it only makes you smell good for a couple of hours. You don't smell bad, but if you don't put deodorant on, you start to stink. I
have to reapply every few hours for this deodorant to maybe cover smell.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never... Do you remember having they had like that crystal rock?
Yes.
I remember
that one always looked like, I was like, is that gonna scratch up your armpit?
We didn't have money for anything. I don't know how they bought me that, but like I was using it and it did not work.
When you got it, where you're like, Mom, Dad, how did you do this?
Did you guys have to take out a loan?
Don't do this
to
for
take
me
out this crystal rock. It did even. I remember it came in like a clear box.
Yeah,
had a blue bottom, and it did not work at all. You're just holding.
It didn't look like. Yeah,
you're just holding something that looks like a big ice chunk, and you're going like this and just exfoliating. But like you stunk instantly.
Yeah, I remember that kind of deodorant was always advertised at like off hours. It was never prime time.
So you're saying like I was up late watching porno and then that came on?
Yeah, and then you're like, Mom.
I was like rubbing my clit, and then after I was like, hey, can we get some of this natural deodorant?
No, but I remember because I felt like, remember that shave thing called Epilady, which was a circulating
and
spring?
It pulls the hair out?
I felt like that came around the same time that Crystal deodorant did, and so did, remember Nads?
What was that?
The natural sticky thing that you from Australia that you put on your legs and then you ripped. Yeah, and
I
people
feel
used
like
to
I
make
tried
joke
that.
about it because it sounded like balls.
Also, you know what? I mean, this has been long-winded and a way to bring it back. But do you remember that edible wax?
Like the lip one?
Yeah, but it was edible.
Yeah.
So like you can do that during the coronavirus outbreak and eat it. Just eating your wax from that.
That sounds pretty good. I think Starbursts are pretty much candy wax.
Probably. I think you could probably have
look
that
like
for a
it.
long time.
They're pretty tasty. I haven't had one in a while.
Do
We're
you
probably going to gain so much weight from coronavirus from staying in.
I mean, I'm just going to go up and down the stairs a lot in my hallway. I'm just going to be working out, running up and down.
We should create coronavirus workouts.
That's funny. Also, I just wonder how gross people will be, like, just not showering in their house for days.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everyone's going to have, what's it when you don't wash your hair and it gets matted?
Oh, like dreads?
Yes.
Like when we come out after 2 weeks.
All of us are going to have dreads. We're good. I feel like we're going to be
Fat with dreads.
I feel like we're going to be every black man's wish. Fat with dreads. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
I just love it's like now you're like, now you guys know what depression feels like. Welcome to our world of just hanging in.
How much TV do you think we could watch?
A lot. I mean, I already fit in quite a bit.
And
I do
have
quite
a pretty
bit.
busy schedule.
Yeah. Because I do it well. Like today, while I was doing taxes, I have it on. If I'm about to eat, I'll probably watch an episode of something.
Man, how long can you go not working and getting income? I can't go long at all. Maybe a month.
Not even that for me.
I mean, it's going to be tight.
I wouldn't make rent next month if I didn't work. I have not enough in savings because I keep pulling, and then I don't replenish it fast enough.
How long can most people go not working?
I think most people are kind of in our position.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks where you got a new job, but you want some time off from your old job. So you said you had to give them 2 weeks notice. But
That's always the best time.
But you just can't. You just quit that day.
Yeah.
And you get those 2 weeks where you're not getting paid for it and you're really stretching.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I'm not going to be able to pay my utilities, or I'm only going to be able to pay part of it.
Yeah.
And then my rent's going to have to be a week late.
Yeah, and then you're like, I'll put a few things on credit card when things...
I'll
pay it off in a month when I get a more consistent paycheck.
Right, and you're like, I'll probably return something to Nordstrom, which takes stuff back up to a year.
I always think I'm going to do a garage sale. You can do pretty well. Or sell stuff. I've tried to sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace, but like everybody wants you to go deliver it.
To their house?
To their house. They're like, where do you live? Can you come meet me? And I'm like, no, asshole, you have to come to me. Like, I'm pretty much giving it for free.
And now you want me to also come to your house?
Yes. Or they asked me to take photos of it in 20 different angles.
And it's just like a plate?
It's yes. It's so stupid.
Did you see? All right. Did you hear about the woman that got drunk with her husband? I should look this up so I have all the information. And she made him get into a suitcase. And he was like, I can't breathe. And then he died.
Yes. And then she got charged with it.
Right. And then
I wonder where they were going.
I think they were just home for the night.
I just love that
and they came home drunk. And something where he's like, I can't breathe, let me in. I think she said something like, well, that's for cheating on me. And like the phone or Alexa or something picked it up. Let's see. Woman who...
Weird. What a dum-dum to get into a suitcase. There's got to be a little bit of you like this. All right, this'll work.
How tiny is this guy that he could fit into a suitcase?
Well, remember that like some of those big 1970s suitcases can fit a grown person in there. They try to smuggle people on like planes that way.
But most guys are not that tiny.
There's a lot of tiny guys.
Also, if you could get into a luggage, you could suck your own dick.
Yeah, that's...
Do you think that's how she got him in there?
Yeah.
Just
like hey, you can just suck your own dick in there.
And then he just tried. And
yeah.
A woman who put husband... That was a pretty fascinating story.
Yeah, I just saw that one. I only saw the headline and I didn't go deep into it. And I'm like, well, I just chalked it up as two idiots that deserve each other.
Well, also, if they're drunk, she probably didn't think that she was going to kill him.
Yeah. I mean, haven't you heard stories where somebody hit somebody with their car, kind of park, and then the next morning they see a dead person on their windshield and they're like, they don't remember doing
they're
that?
like, oh, I thought that was a bird.
Yeah.
Like, that's a pretty big bird.
That's gotta suck. There's times when I've woken up from drinking where I'm like, that could have been real bad.
This is it. Florida woman, 42, kills her
Florida.
boyfriend, 41, by zipping him inside a suitcase, but claims it was a game of hide and seek. First of all, hide and seek, you don't know where they're hiding.
Yeah. I like that. Look at her face in that. She's like this. I know. It's so stupid.
She's like, hide and seek gone wrong. A cell phone video captures her saying, "That's what I feel like when you cheat on me."
How did? Oh my god!
His
He's
eyes
got
are
crazy eyes.
His eyes are so close together.
They
Maybe
look
that's
like and they're black. They're like devil eyes.
maybe that's how she tricked him to get in there. His eyes, he's cross-eyed.
He seems kind of stupid.
I mean, who died in the suitcase though?
He did that, yeah.
So he's pretty stupid.
She seems really smart.
I
I put that on my job application. What's one thing that you're proud of? You're like, I managed to get my boyfriend to climb into a suitcase and he died.
would think most suitcases you could breathe through.
I thought so too. It's like we try tonight and then we just die in ours. Mine's too tiny to fit. Actually, I wouldn't be able to breathe through mine.
You're thin, and I still don't think you could fit in my suitcase.
I couldn't. No, but I mean, I've had when I moved here, I got a really big suitcase that could fit that could fit Prince. I think Prince is the size of a
Prince could probably fit in there.
Yeah,
But
or Gary Veeder.
I wish I was on this jury, like when she goes, because I would be like, I need to see this suitcase and see how big it is. Because if it was big enough,
you have so many questions.
If it was big enough, I would just think he could have gotten out of that or had enough room to breathe.
Yeah.
It says she claimed her and Torres had been drinking and decided it would be funny if her boyfriend climbed inside a suitcase during a game of hide and seek. Do you think that was like her first thing, or she was like, I'm going to get drunk tonight.
He loves hide and seek.
I'm going to ask him to get into the suitcase.
I haven't played hide and seek in years. Probably not since high school, in a version called Kick the Can.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't even... I feel like if any adult was like, do you want to play hide and seek? I'm like,
And we're drinking? I'd be like, why aren't we playing this when we're sober?
Yo, this feels like a trap.
Let's play red light, green light, 1, 2, 3.
That was fun.
That was a fun game.
I used to like playing Kick the Can, but if you chose a place that was really good, no one's finding you, and then it was just kind of like lame.
What is kick the can?
It's just hide and seek with a bait. Like somebody counts to 100.
Oh, and you have to kick a can somewhere?
It'd be a soccer ball. It always makes me feel like people are just gonna jam into your car.
My car. Most new cars
But
have cameras.
Oh yeah, I forget about that.
But yeah, I feel you on that.
But
I'm gonna move right up to here so that I could be even closer to the entrance for when I get out.
You can just pop. So it's called Kick the Can, but you could use a soccer ball. It's just really a place that you got to touch, and then like you're like safe. Gotcha. It's a hide and seek. But we played it for hours in our neighborhood. And then we would get very intricate of like hiding out in the sewer. But then you'd have to get all your friends to be like, pick up that huge concrete covering for you to get out, that you're just now we're just kind of showing off.
I've never even heard of that game.
No. I would just be in like a tree in a bush. Freeze was fun.
That was a fun game.
I liked Freeze. I also liked...
I don't understand. What was the point of Freeze? Whoever moved had to be it or something? I never got it.
I don't remember. Some of them are like... I remember playing Marco Polo.
In the swimming game, yeah. In the pool.
Yeah. And I remember liking that, but then if you were it all the time, you're like, this blows. And then I would just cheat.
Ooh, and just open your... You ever play 7-Up in school?
Yeah.
You try and just look at someone's shoes to know who it is?
Yeah.
That was a fun game.
Those were fun. Because you can cheat in Marco Polo if you're like Marco and you realize no one's saying polo. You're like, they're underwater. And then you open your eyes...
Ooh.
And then you dive down and get them.
Fun.
Or categories was another one that we liked. Did you ever play that one?
How do you play that?
So you're like, okay, the person that's it is like picks the category. So you'd say deodorant. So then you guys, the other people would each choose their individual brand name for a deodorant, and then there would be a family name that you would choose another brand for a deodorant. Then I would be on the diving board as the it person naming deodorants, and if I named it, you had to quietly leave and swim to the other side of the pool. But if I turn around and you haven't, or I haven't, then I have to move 2 steps forward.
This game is so confusing. I don't even know what you're saying.
It's really fun. I wish we could. I would
Go to
play
a
it.
pool?
Yeah.
I only had one friend that had a pool.
Yeah. Well, I grew
Or
up in the
2.
suburbs.
Yeah,
so,
that makes sense.
They were around everywhere.
We used to just go in the sprinklers. I remember one time we did like a car wash, which is the worst idea with the sprinklers because you're not really washing anything good.
Yeah.
And then I decided it was a good idea if all of my friends came upstairs to shower. Like there was like 8 of us in this tiny 2-bedroom apartment.
I was like,
And my mom was like, "Now I have to wash all this stuff."
yeah, and then the
I'm like,
bathtub
"Well, you're not."
is full of
I'm like, "Well, you're not
grime.
working, and you also don't clean, so maybe."
Well, yeah, you're like, why don't either that or be a mom?
It's so weird. My mom did nothing. She had the perfect life where she could have worked on a degree and gotten a good job, and instead she did nothing.
And all without a smartphone to scroll 3 apps to,
I think she's the type of person that could just talk on the phone for hours,
Yeah.
and also she could watch a lot of TV.
Okay.
She's-
With the sense of accomplishment, because if I watch too much TV or phone, I'm like, this is disgusting.
My mother has never had a full-time job.
That's amazing to me.
Yeah, she's just always married guys who like made enough money for her to just do nothing.
Yeah, and I like that they're never like, it's not like they're millionaires though.
No, but
just enough, like a
just
union
enough
job.
Yeah, just enough money where she doesn't really have to do anything.
That's great.
Yeah, the worst thing about going shopping with my mom is she would just overestimate how much money she had, and we would just stand there with the key voiding everything. And I was like, stop being a dumb cunt. Why are you putting so much food? Look at this big dog, how cute it is. It's so
he's
white and fluffy.
fluffy.
That dog is a
He's like a
nightmare to keep
purebred.
clean.
Yes.
He's very cute.
He's probably
I
really
watched,
expensive.
I've been watching a lot of stuff on Netflix. I watched Don't Fuck with Cats.
That one was great.
It was really good.
I mean,
and
the subject
interesting.
matter, or like his murder, that guy's is disturbing, but they don't show too much. You just get really sad for the animals. But
It was easier
The
from-
sleuthing
it
was
was-
really fun.
The what?
Where the online detective work, where they call it
Yeah.
sleuthing,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah. I was like, I don't know how to do any of this stuff.
You could be a good sleuth. You sleuth.
I'm not good at knowing technical stuff to look on websites and stuff like that.
Okay. Like
If somebody-
IP addresses and...
Right. I'm not good with that. I'm good at like ideas and how to backtrack.
Okay.
But I'm not good at knowing. Like at one point when they captured this guy in Berlin,
Yeah.
they watched his flight come home.
I know. The one thing that I thought was crazy is the Monch...
Well, let's explain a little bit for people that don't know.
Okay, so it's a real... And I remember this case happening when this did, but it wasn't a huge news story.
I didn't remember it at all.
I just remember because it was just... I knew about the killing of cats, and then you kind of forget because shit happened. So this guy posts a video of him vacuum sucking 2 kittens. It's so disturbing.
It's so
they don't
disturbing,
show
it
it,
makes
but
you so angry.
oh, super. So that's what it does. It created this online community of like, let's get him.
Let's get this guy.
So then they look at the video and there's some clues on where it is. It's like sometimes the electrical socket will let you know if it's like in another country or
If
not.
it's in Europe or here, I mean, it was this very small room, and they were able to go around and look at every single thing in there. Do you remember there was that weird bedspread?
Yeah.
And they actually looked up where it was sold, and only one of them was bought.
Canada, right?
I think it was
His mom was crazy.
his mom.
too.
His
Get
mom
that.
also looked like she was already dead.
Yes.
She looked extremely dead already.
I was like, can we follow up with his mom? Because I want to know about this guy's childhood. Because she's a crazy
She definitely
person.
fucked him up.
Yeah.
But anyway, they were able to find out so much information, and they were all upset about this. And then they were tracking this guy, and he wanted to be famous. He was like trying to be a
He
model.
loved movie. Yeah.
He was trying to be a model. He like got auditioned to be a model, and he was fairly like model looking. A little bit, not great looking.
But he was, yeah. You're like, there's something off. when you see him. You're like, I can understand there's a little bit of a bone structure, but there was something. So when he came in with his interview for that model show in Canada, when you see it, you're like, this guy is just, you would cringe.
Yeah, but
listening to him
all
talk.
the people working together on this online site, though, are awesome.
Yeah. So they're just like these people that are like working all over the country. They have their day jobs, and then at the end of the night, they're just people that are just like all by themselves, just on forming friendships on online communities. So they start hanging out with each other.
That lady was just trying to get over a breakup, and that seems like the best way to sink a lot of time into something. Feel like you're doing something
Solve
good.
a murder.
Be somewhat connected to people. And they figured out where he lived, and then he did another video that I think was doing something else with cats, and then he did another one
with the snake and the cat too.
Yeah, the videos are disturbing. I didn't watch that part. I had to like cover my eyes, and
they don't show much, and it's so grainy. But it is one of those things. Like whenever you see somebody doing animal cruelty, it's just it's so disturbing.
It was harder
to
for me to watch the cat stuff than him stabbing someone.
Yeah.
I think because the stabbing thing was like you couldn't really see the guy's face. Those kittens were like so cute and precious, and he's petting them.
And they don't do any. They don't have. I don't know.
All of it's awful.
It's
the stabbing was also awful too. And then you come to find like these people warn, I guess, the Montreal police or the Toronto police, and then this guy keeps moving.
They knew he was in Montreal, and they're like, something bad is going to happen soon. And then then the murder of that Asian guy came, and then they had all this information, and then the police were still kind of not like listening to them.
Yeah.
It took a while for them to be considered as like.
They said this guy is going to move on to people. And then he did kill somebody. And they actually, I think, helped them like track this guy down.
Yeah, because apparently this guy had put so many blogs and YouTube videos of himself. And he had a particular way of writing because he sounds like kind of stupid. Like he misspelled things. The way he did grammar was a little bit off. So, and it was so impressive that this community logged everything that they did, so they cross-referenced it.
They would probably make great comics.
Yeah,
if they were writing jokes out and all. So they end up like finding this guy. He goes to prison. He makes up like these alter egos, and then you find out he's just copying like stuff from movies. Like that was how he basically killed.
We can't share the end because the end is such like an interest when they do everything that he does in the confessional room, and then they play the movie. Or like, oh,
we won't play that.
God.
But definitely watch it. It's 3 parts.
It's great. I think it's one of the best true crime docs that has come out in the last few years.
Well, you know what else I also liked? I don't think we'll have time to talk about because we have to do the second one.
Okay.
What was the other one? Something like Where's Johnny?
I haven't watched that one. Oh, is that about a guy that was kidnapped and his mom said he came back and she suspects he's in a big pedophile ring?
Yes.
Yes. That's on Netflix. I haven't seen that one in a long time.
Now it's on Amazon. I watched it again. But that was fascinating to me because she seemed like she was pretty together. And then I'm like, I wonder if that was true.
I don't think it is, or either somebody's playing with her. And then I also think either that her having her kid broke her, that she's just holding on to something.
Maybe.
There's something, like devastatingly sad about it.
Yeah.
Missing kid shit's always like, because it sucks because a lot of times they don't find a body, so then it's always that feeling of hope that you almost wish that.
Yeah, because there is really no closure.
No, it's awful.
But that was also fascinating to me too, because there is definitely kin. Did you feel like when they showed the photos of the kids, I thought it was her kid?
Yeah,
it looked a lot like him.
But you can always see, like, I don't know. A lot of times when you see people when they were kids, you're like, you actually look pretty different.
Yeah, I guess.
But you can see how they're, I don't know. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
I know there's one doc about a missing kid one, and then this guy somewhere in Europe found out he came back and said he was their kid years later. Mm-hmm. He wasn't.
Interesting.
That one I forget, and I keep meaning to watch that one. So if you guys know about it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. That's what I love. That doc was great.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Guys.
Thanks for following us.
vagpodcast@gmail. Always ask us questions.
Yeah. Also, if you have some tips or some ideas of what you think, you
be
should
safe
store
out there
for the coronavirus.
Yes.
What you're stocking up on.
Show us your spreads for your coronavirus. What you're making.
Yes, Sarah. I'm going to be away for a week, and then Sarah's going to away for 2 weeks. So we're doing all these podcasts now. But when we come back, we're going to have a burner phone. I'm going to buy one. Yes. If you want us to prank call anyone, be specific. Somebody did send us really good stuff, but I need to ask her a couple more questions.
Yes.
I'm not sure about some of the stuff, but we're going to do that. We're also going to create that Craigslist thing. I just have to get an email.
Okay. We'll do all
And
that.
then we'll have some fun stuff. But thanks for listening. Email us, write your questions.
Review us on iTunes.
We appreciate everything you guys do to support us. And
Yeah, we read everything.
tell people to watch my Degenerate set. And
Yeah, spread that word.
And spread the word that Sarah's taping an album and she's hilarious and people should buy it.
Yes.
I also, well, I'll talk about that with you later.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
All right.
Oh, like us on Instagram and Twitter and
Yes,
whatever
yes.
else is out there.
All of it.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.